Hello, friends. Welcome to CG Live. I'm so excited for our conversation today on compassion, this deep inward movement in us that compels us to act. Got a special guest with us, Jen Park, so get ready for that. But before we get there, here's your weekly connection. Palm Sunday at the park is back. If you were with us last year, you know it's an absolute blast celebrating Palm Sunday outdoors with both of our campuses, the Gilbert and East Mesa campus, coming together. This year will be on March 24th at 10 a.m. at the Cadence Community Center in East Mesa. We'll have service, lunch, fellowship, and fun for the kids. At our Gilbert campus, there will be the traditional service at 7:30 and 9 a.m., but no contemporary service at the usual 9 and 10:45 times. Those will be happening together at the Cadence Community Center at 10. It'll be a great day at both campuses. If you're looking for something fun to do as a couple in March, join Renee and Jeff Bennett at their home in Apache Junction on Saturday, March 16th, 6 to 9 p.m. for an evening of Scotch tasting and food pairings. I mean, that sounds amazing. There will be a Scotch from the 5 major Scotch producing regions. Feel free to wear your kilt or Scottish fineries. I know you've got them in your closet at home. The registration deadline is March 11th. Childcare is available at the Gilbert campus. The cost is $75 per couple. Sign up using the link in the description. And now, I know it feels like Christmas was just yesterday, but we're already starting talking about Easter at Christ Greenfield. While we try to make every day a celebration of Jesus' resurrection, Easter is special because many people will join us who may not have a relationship with Jesus. So today, I'd like to invite you to actually begin praying for the folks who will be with us for Holy Week and Easter who maybe don't have a relationship with Jesus yet. And just pray that God would soften their hearts to the incredible reality of His love. And speaking of Holy Week, be sure to visit christgreenfield.church/Easter. It is our one-stop shop where you can reference everything you need to know for Holy Week and Easter. And we'll be right back after your Focus Next Step. We are so blessed at Christ Greenfield to be in such an amazing community of Jesus followers who desire to give of their time and energy to advance the kingdom here in the Valley. Time after time, we are so inspired by the stories of life transformation all around us. And I want to take a moment today to share with you a couple of upcoming opportunities to serve others and continue to make this community such a special place. First, our volunteer registration for VBS is now open. Vacation Bible School is one of the most powerful ways to serve our community. And if you're passionate about sharing your faith and guiding kids through fun activities, consider volunteering at VBS this summer by visiting christgreenfield.church/VBS. Finally, Easter is right around the corner, and we are working really hard to make our Easter experience as amazing as possible for those who come and join us at the end of this month. If you want to play a role in making the Easter celebration great, please visit christgreenfield.church/Easter to see all the different ways you can serve. And finally, just richest blessing to you during this Lenten journey, and may the Lord continue to help us all continue to grow in the way of Jesus Christ. Hello, welcome to CG Live. I have a very special guest with me today, Jen Parks. Jen, why don't you just give everybody a little glimpse at who is Jen Parks?
Oh, who is Jen Parks? I have been in love with Jesus for about 15 years and following him. I've been at CG for about 11 years, and I'm a wife, mom, and grandma.
Grandma, and a whole lot of other hats. A fun fact about Jen is she helps manage the homebound I go see. And I would be utterly lost without Jen and her partner in crime, Chrissy, telling me where to go. So I'm so grateful for them. And Jen's with us today because we're talking about the way of compassion. And biblically speaking, compassion is this deep inward movement that compels you to act. You like see a need and you have to act. You see that whenever compassion comes up, especially in proximity to Jesus, he sees a need, like this huge group of people that are like sheep without a shepherd, and it compels him to teach them, love them, and ultimately feed the 5,000. But I guess, Jen, for you, with that like biblical definition, like how does that hit you? How does that sit with you? Or how have you seen it in your life, I guess?
I think just any follower of Jesus is going to want to imitate him. You know, we are called to be more like Jesus each and every day. And so he was the most compassionate human ever to walk this earth. So that should drive us, and that inner love for Jesus is then shown on the outside just by doing what he has called us to do.
Yeah, kind of like, First John talks about like we love because he first loved us. So we have compassion because he's first shown compassion to us, and we're kind of following the way of our leader, of Jesus. But how have you seen compassion kind of at work in your own life?
In my own life, I have always loved children, and especially those that have vulnerable, the least of these. And I started working with really children when I was very, very young, others that are less fortunate through the Child Crisis Center and different things. And then as a mom, I had started with World Vision. I started sponsoring and then eventually started being a child ambassador. And so through that, with our church, we've partnered with them and sponsored over 400 children, which has been amazing. And now I also do advocacy work with them, get to go and talk to different senators and representatives' offices about the different foreign aid packages that help overseas children tremendously. And then I'm also the leader of spiritual care for Christ Greenfield.
Yeah. So like for our context, Christ Greenfield, one of the ways we as a church show compassion where you like see a need and are moved to acts is actually through like our CG Cares ministries. And one of those under that umbrella is our spiritual cares ministry. And Jen, you and Tanya Hilton do a great job like leading up that crew. Why don't you tell us about like what's the need that spiritual cares is compelled to meet?
We are compelled to meet those that are in need, that are sick, that are homebound, that need prayer, really anyone that needs that spiritual support system to walk with them. We do schedule visits for our wonderful pastors to go out and see the homebound and sick. But we also have a team of visitors and callers that will build relationship with those and either call them or visit them, usually on a bi-weekly basis. We also then have kind of more the prayer side of things, where we pray over everybody that is written into us through the Connect cards, through emails, phone calls, whatever it may be. We have a rather large list weekly that comes out, but then we also do urgent prayer requests. And those are anything that is urgent, surgeries, emergencies, what have you. We email those out to the team and immediately just kind of stop, drop, and pray.
Yeah. So if you ever have a prayer request and it gets sent in, it gets addressed immediately. And one of the compassionate responses, it's one of our most precious gifts, is to pray for you. And like side note and plug, if you're like ever in the hospital or you have a loved one in the hospital and you'd like a visit, reach out to the church, the spiritual care team, and we'll make sure we respond to that need. Or if you're having trouble getting to church and you're kind of like homebound now, again, that's another like sometimes we just don't know what we don't know.
Right.
And so if you let us know, we'd love to add you to the list and come in and see you and be that spiritual care and support.
Right.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the new ministry with spiritual cares we're looking to start that does meet another need?
Yes, absolutely. So we're really trying to start more of a food, kind of a meal train of sorts. It would be called Compassionate Cooks potentially. And that would be hopefully being able to address those that are having those family emergencies when you have people in the hospital and yet people at home, providing a meal. Jesus shared so many meals with so many people, and that's how we build that relationship is through food so often. And so we really want to get that ministry up and going.
Yeah. As being one on the receiving end of like a meal train when I had kids, at first you kind of like standoffish, like, oh no, we got it. But when you let people bless you by helping you, man, just that one burden of not having to worry about what's for dinner.
Oh yeah.
Is like so huge. In fact, my wife was talking to somebody about like, they have a lot going on in life and people offer to like make food and stuff. And this individual is like, actually be more helpful is just to tell me I'm bringing food.
Yeah.
What do you want? And so part of what Compassionate Cook could do is like, it has this backlog of food ready so that if you know somebody, you can request getting the food and you just bring it to that person. Hey, I'm bringing you food. I'm compelled to act.
Yeah. And sometimes you just can't give them a choice.
Yeah. Sometimes you just can't give a choice. I'm going to love you. And I'm going to bless you in this way, and you're going to like it. Some other like CG cares that we offer, these like needs that we see. One is like finances. And, that was like, I was broke down. I'm not, or Financial Peace University. We have Ron and Vicki Wilson who like, man, if you submit like, hey, this is something that's really a burden on my heart and I don't know what to do. If you send into contact, they'll contact you right away. They're compelled to act. Like this is what like God has put on their hearts. Can
I say one thing?
Yeah.
Well, Ron and Vicki Wilson are the best. But when I had my plumbing company, Ron was so gracious. He came out and did like a 2-hour course over several weeks with my plumbers to help them get their budgets and everything going. Man. So yes, they are very great and gracious.
Yeah. And when you feel like sometimes you feel like money's controlling you, or when you got like a budget and a handle on it, even if you got a lot or a little, it does change. Yep. It makes it a lot less stressful. Some other ones that we have that are like so key, not only to our church community, but the broader community is like Grief Share and Cancer Companions and Divorce Care. Jen, you want to speak on any of those?
Sure. So Grief Share is helping those that have lost a loved one. And it could be you lost a loved one yesterday or a year ago. There is no time constraint. If you're feeling that grief, then Grief Share is a wonderful, wonderful place to be. They meet on Saturday mornings, I believe at 9 a.m., 9 to 11. And so they have different timings. They'll run from, say, January to April and then take a break for summer and things. But so you don't have to start at the very beginning. You can just jump in wherever they are. The individual lessons will meet you where you're at for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like with Grief Share and Cancer Companions, those are for like, if you're going through cancer or you're caring for somebody through cancer, it's like a support group. Same with Divorce Care. If you've walked through divorce, it's a group that like can help you along that journey. And I think especially for those three, Grief Share, Cancer Companions, and Divorce Care, there's something about walking through it with other people who know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of times that can be a really powerful source of compassion because you've walked that journey.
Yep.
It compels you then to like love and care for those who are on the journey as well. Jen, I know you said kind of that we were talking before. That's kind of your experience with something else you're very passionate about. Do you want to share that?
Spiritual care?
Well, spiritual care. Well, just like chronic. Those who are walking the road like chronic pain. Sorry, throwing curveball.
Threw me off. So I had COVID about 3 years ago, and ever since have been chronically ill with various different things. And so that that has really compelled me to want to help others so that they don't ever feel that loneliness, or that they do know that other people are out there not only thinking of them, loving them, praying for them, but that they're walking through similar situations that they can relate to.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just something so powerful because like you just feel more seen and known and understood when you're with people who've walked that road. Other like kind of compassion or CG Cares ministries that we have is like faith development. And really it's seen the need of like just maturing the faith. So an example of that is like we just did how to read the Bible class. I think Trey's working on faith in the fourth dimension, which is like sounds
That'll be cool.
So good. But like if you're feeling spiritually dry, sometimes just taking that step of jumping into a small group or one of these like faith development classes can kind of like nurture and grow your faith. And one other one area we're working on, this is with Tanya Hilton, is like mental health. And so having a landing page where if you need like prayer or just referrals to counseling places, you'll have a place to go. And then I think after Easter, she's working on like a class, a course to do.
That'll be wonderful.
Yeah. Because
she's awesome.
She is awesome. And that too is like such a deep need.
Oh, yeah.
Mental health issues and having a response or a safe place to go for people when they feel like there's nowhere else to turn.
Right.
You know?
Well, and I'm pretty sure that's what compelled her to become a biblical counselor.
Yeah. She's been a great resource for that. So look for that as well. But Jen, for our hearers, maybe they're out there, they're wondering, well, I don't know what I'm super passionate about. I can't identify like what compels me to action. What would you say are like things individuals can look for in their own lives to say, oh, this is how God has hardwired my heart to respond?
Yeah, because we're all different and we all, the kingdom needs us to be different to come and serve in the different areas. I think looking at yourself and just saying, hey, what excites me? You know, what, when I look at this person in need, this is, man, I feel I want to do something different. Or you